Hello, this is Tor Lacey with an overview of the Late Paleozoic, which includes the last two periods of the eon, the Carboniferous period, which is commonly subdivided into the Mississippian and Pennsylvanian periods, and the Permian period. The name Carboniferous stems from the fact that much of the carbon-rich coal that is burned today for energy was formed during this time. The growth of the Appalachian Mountains continued as the leading edge of the plate-carrying Gondwana converged with Euramerica. The collision continued through the Permian, resulting in constructing the supercontinent Pangaea. During the Carboniferous period, large portions of the continents were clustered near the equator, where the climate was tropical, meaning warm and wet year-round. This geography created the conditions needed for development of the coal swamps that defined this period. By the late Carboniferous, the Pennsylvanian period, an ice age began, brought on by plate tectonics moving continents into polar regions, and by the consumption of CO2 by dense vegetation of the coal swamps. Removing CO2 from the atmosphere meant less heat was trapped, so global temperatures dropped. As glaciers expanded, sea levels also dropped, causing a mass extinction that defines the boundary between the early and late Carboniferous. Tropical forests dominated the landscape near the equator. The dense plant growth of trees like lycopods provided the raw material for the great coal deposits of the world. Notably, the first conifers appeared during the Carboniferous. The shallow seas covering the continental shelves of the continents retreated as the continents approached each other, and global cooling initiated an ice age during the late Carboniferous. Periodic lowering of sea levels during this time caused extinctions of some shallow marine organisms. For the most part, though, marine life wasn't dramatically different from the seas of the Middle Paleozoic. Armored fish steadily declined, however, as they were replaced by more mobile swimmers like ammonoids, sharks, and ray-finned fish. Reptiles evolved from amphibians near the end of the Pennsylvanian, with a tremendously important evolutionary adaptation, the ability to lay eggs. Like seeds for plants, the egg protected the embryo and freed animals from their reliance on water to reproduce. Consequently, they were able to proliferate and populate terrestrial habitats far from water. The first snails appeared, along with winged insects like dragonflies, some of which had wingspans up to 3 feet. Another mammoth insect was Arthropleura, an ancestor of the millipede that could grow up to 8 feet in length. By the late Permian, almost all land had come together to form Pangaea. The continent stretched from the North Pole to the South Pole, and may have been the single largest landmass in the history of Earth. The collision of Euramerica with Gondwana continued to drive the Appalachian orogeny. Making a supercontinent meant large regions of the continent were far from oceans and the moisture they provide, resulting in large regions that became deserts. The arid climates significantly reduced the tropical rainforest, and with them, the decomposing plant material needed to make coal deposits. As Pangaea became more arid and seasonal, most of the tropical coal swamps were replaced by conifer forest, more suited to the warming and drying climate of the Permian. Shallow coastal seas continued to shrink, and so did the habitat for shallow marine organisms. As many swamps dried up, amphibian populations also declined, as reptiles diversified and spread across the land. Reptiles, like the Dimetrodon, evolved strong jaws and sharp teeth. They could also move more quickly and had the advantage of using eggs for reproduction. These behavioral advantages allowed reptiles to outcompete amphibians in many habitats. The end of the Paleozoic eon and the Permian period is defined by 2 extinction events that combined are the greatest mass extinction ever experienced by planet Earth. Approximately 96% of all species vanished due to a variety of calamities, including massive volcanic eruptions, meteor impacts, and rapid global warming. These dramatic changes to the physical Earth resulted in a stratified ocean, with the deep sea becoming very oxygen poor. Low oxygen levels in the oceans seems to have been the primary cause for marine extinctions, while global warming contributed to the deaths of shallow marine life and terrestrial plants and animals. In summary, The late Paleozoic included the construction of the Appalachians and other mountains in North America. Dense tropical forest and swamp areas hosted the vegetation that became the coal we mine today. Massive insects crawled about and flew overhead. Reptiles evolved and outcompeted amphibians. A severe ice age contributed to extinctions near the end of the Mississippian period, while global warming played a role in the devastating mass extinctions that defined the end of the Paleozoic eon. Thank you for your attention.